This is Christopher Rosado from Alan Christopher Software, and we will be covering custom layouts with SnapShot Studio. First thing we want to do is create a new layout, and we will select from our preset templates. And when we find the template we like, we will highlight the template and press the export button, which will create a folder, Snapshot Studio templates, on our desktop with our file in the folder. Now, if we hold down the control key, the control click for Windows or command click for the Mac, instead of a JPEG, we'll get a PNG export. Now, the benefit of a PNG export is we have the built-in transparency, so we can make an easy selection for our template. So in your favorite editing program, in this case Photoshop, we want to make a selection of our template border, create a mask, and reveal that selection. Now, the benefit of creating a mask allows us to edit our source image without being destructive. So we'll go ahead and click our background and copy it and paste it over into our project. And then we'll just drag the layer mask to our background. And you'll notice we have the dropout perfectly set for our layout. So we just disabled it and we'll enable it again. Now to continue on, I want to get a little more of a color variation. So I have another semi-transparent layout background. So we'll just copy it and paste it directly into our project. And I will option drag the layer mask. So both layers will contain the dropout. And I'll go ahead and select the layer mask and use the erase tool to allow the blue layer, the one below the layer that we're working on now, to reveal through the red. So we'll go ahead and we'll select the layer mask and then go through with the erase tool. Now, this part of the editing you may not need. This is more to give you ideas of what you can do for your own projects to create a little more depth, a little more texture. There we go. And this is looking pretty good. And once we finish with this, we'll import a few preset graphic files that I have set. So we'll go ahead and import the text I have set for this. We'll copy and paste it into our project. There it is. And now we will just position it where we need. And we'll do the same thing with the flowers and butterflies. And we'll position it in once we paste it. And again, click and drag into position. Now everything is looking nice. We have a little bit of a reveal of the flowers. The Gerber is over top of the last photo cell. But what we will need to do next, we want a little more of a pop, especially for the text that kind of blends in at the bottom. So what we'll do is we'll go to our border layer and use the magic wand tool to select the red portion, create a new layer, and then we will just fill that selection with white. Now what we'll do with that white box, we will make it semi-transparent with our layout. It should lighten things up a little more so the text will jump out. We want to give it a little bit of a frame. A little more there, and that's not so bad. Maybe crank it down a little bit more. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to give it a drop shadow. So I'll go into my layer effects tools and select the drop shadow. And we don't want the shadow to be too pronounced. So we'll turn down the opacity and maybe give it a little more of a spread and increase its size a little bit so it diffuses a little nicer, but just enough to define that area. There we go, and that's looking good. Okay, so pretty much we have a completed border for our layout in SnapShot Studio. So once we finish our little tweaks and get it just right, what we'll want to do is we'll export it. So we'll go to File, Save for Web, and we will export it as a PNG file, PNG 24. So we have that transparency to show through, and our size is correct, being that we use the template file to as our base for the export. So we'll save it to our desktop, and from our desktop, there it is. We'll double click the layout and bring it down into our setup, and then just drag and drop that file over to the page overlay layer in SnapShot Studio, and you'll see it snaps right in. The alignment is perfect, and we are ready to go. And that's pretty much it. You can do a lot with your favorite graphics editor, be it Photoshop or GIMP or whatever you prefer to use. But the availability of making use of transparencies, you could have a lot of fun and create some really great layouts. And this is just a quick example. So we'll go ahead and we'll give it a quick run. There we go, sped it up, and we're done, and everything looks great.